Steve, home to Southport on Saturday, and we're looking for that first home win of the season.
Yeah, we always are. We're always looking to win every game, but obviously we need to definitely turn the corner at home. And Southport again. This league is topsy turvy. There's a lot of inconsistency in it. Certainly, we'd come under that bracket so far, and there's other teams. There's other teams who playoff teams from last season. They're probably not where they need to be, but we've played few enough games to know that there's plenty of points to get there. We know what we're capable of. We know what we did in half a season when we first arrived, and to get back on track, that atmosphere, that momentum needs to be created at home again, and we have to drive that, and everybody has to play a part in that.
Yeah. Now, we're a quarter of the way through the season now. That was 12 games the other night. How do you assess it so far?
Just as I said earlier, inconsistent. We've had some terrific performances, solid performances away from home, and teams have came to our place through caution to the wind, and we haven't defended it well enough on occasions. So that's. But as I said earlier, there's a lot of inconsistency in this league, and the teams who are consistent are the teams who are where they should be at the top. And this team's had a flyer at the start of the season. Radcliffe have had a great start. Scarborough have had a great start. A lot of teams like that aren't carrying huge squads, so it's a long haul season when winter kicks in, and I'd like to think we're due a consistent spell, but again, it's completely down to us and the squad and ourselves to turn that corner. And again, Saturday's the next game, so Saturday's the game we need to focus on trying to do that.
Yeah. It's a matter now of everybody pulling together, isn't it, and really supporting the lads on Saturday and try and get this win.
Yeah, I mean, the last home game was very, very difficult, and quite rightly, the second half, the game was all but lost in the first half, and it was a tough place to play, and as I say, that's our doing. So to turn that corner, as I say, the atmosphere that we created when we arrived, and the momentum that we got to know that we can achieve something, and achieving something then was to stay in this division. Achieving something now is to climb this division, and we have to have the same kind of mentality.
Now, what about the injuries, though? I know Pete Jameson, unfortunately, was injured before the start of the game on Saturday, on Tuesday rather, but he performed quite well, didn't he? But Josh Scott, Callum, they're struggling.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first time Pete's had anything like an injury, and to be fair, he's probably pulled his hamstring and still played 90 minutes, saved a penalty, and made other good saves, and still looked like he was desperate to play. But this game might be a step too far. The other injuries are just frustrating, because to be successful in this league, you need to be really robust, and you need to have as fully fit a squad as you can regularly. And unfortunately, we keep getting these injuries, and it's difficult because I think we find a good balance between training them as much as we can when we see them, and obviously the rest of the time they're left to look after themselves as well as they can, and obviously they're all getting injured in games, so it is football, but it's a bit it's frustrating because a lot of them are soft tissue injuries. They're not kicks. They're not Wills is obviously unavoidable. It's a ACL injury, which is probably the worst injury, one of the worst injuries you can get in football, and it's non-contact, and it's just really terrible luck. So obviously that one we have to take on the chin, as difficult as it is, but the others are really frustrating.
So regardless, anyway, we're putting out a team which we hope and we intend to pick up these 3 points on Saturday.
Of course, yeah. I mean, you won't hear a manager say anything less, but that's got to be our full focus. We've got probably an hour and a half, 2 hours tonight to try and get them final messages in. It's really difficult to add that massive bit of confidence that I feel like the players should try and have on Saturday, but it's difficult because the form at home's been patchy. We've let leads slip, but that can't carry on. We need to turn that corner this Saturday.